Hello and welcome back to another Skinslip's 2015 Scavenger Hunt video. This is part 8. If you don't know what this is about, there's a link down below to the original contest entry video. That'll have a link to his Skinslip's channel as well as the contest video and the 10 additional video response entries into it, as well as a playlist. And essentially what Skinslip is asking for, he's given 10 different criteria to pick 10 different movies and to do a video response review of each. In this one, like I said, it's part 8, and he's looking for a movie so bad that it is good. And I'm sure, you know what, there are a ton of classic North American so bad it's good films out there, and you could pick any one of them. But for me, I picked something that was something that I actually just recently got, had never seen it before, from Mondo Macabro, and it's an Indonesian film from 1981 called The Warrior. Now, it's directed by a guy named, I'm probably gonna get this name wrong, Siswaro Gautama Putra, who has directed quite a lot of movies. But you've probably not really heard of any of them, except for maybe Satan's Slave. I think that got a DVD release here in North America, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, I mean, the other ones, I'm going to kill these names, like Ratu Sakti Kalau Narang. Right? They're all Indonesian. Unless you're Indonesian, you probably don't know any of his movies. But with The Warrior, it's, see here, Barry Prima is the Warrior. Barry Prima is the star of this film. Essentially, because of The Warrior, it launched Barry Prima into this stardom. Not only in Indonesia, but because, you know, films like these that are filmed overseas often try and go for some way of doing it, you know, getting international sales and distribution. Barry Prima ended up being, you know, kind of an international star at the same time. Now, again, you're probably not going to know any of the films that he's been in, but on top of The Warrior, which I think is probably maybe his most popular, he's got The Devil's Sword, or Revenge of the Ninja, Hijacked to Hell. There's a whole bunch of them, Hell Raiders. But again, he's also got movies like Pendekar Bukit Tengkorak. See, I don't speak Indonesian whatsoever. But yeah, it's nuts. I think, yeah, he's Barry Prima is still making movies today. Like, this is from 1981. Barry Prima is still making movies today. Currently filming are like Garuda 7 and Jakarta Undead. I think there's been sort of a revival of him lately, and I may be wrong, but I think there may be even talks of him, you know, like bringing back, maybe in the two movies that I mentioned, his title character, because his title character actually, that he ended up being, I think, being a series of films where he replayed that same character. I'll just read the back here so you can get an idea of this. This outrageously entertaining fantasy flick stars 1980s action hero Barry Prima. He plays Jaka Sembung, a kind of Robin Hood figure who possesses mystical powers. As a figurehead for his country's rebellion against oppressive invaders, Jaka Sembung is captured, tortured, and left for dead. But he returns, even more powerful than before. In desperation, the invaders resurrect an evil wizard and set him against Jaka Sembung in a fierce fight to the death. Yeah. It seems like a normal type of story, right? Like, nothing crazy, but honestly, this film, I mean, the action is a little weird. I mean, it's not super amazing. A lot of the sword work and stuff is reminiscent of early samurai pictures. But where it really starts to take, you know, eventually he'll do, you know, here, I think, yeah, he'll do something like this. So see this picture here? I don't know if you can actually see that, but he sort of like got the two halves. He's cut the guy in half. He's got the two halves of him on sword. And he's just sort of walking around going, "Yeah, we can do this." And you're just like, "What?" Yeah, and then eventually, you know, he dies. He comes back to life, type thing. Out comes this crazy wizard stuff, and there's magic and you know, sword fighting, and a lot of it's funny because it really is a tale about how the people, I guess, I don't know if they actually felt this way, but I'm assuming they would. Any oppressed society would feel like they need, you know, a savior, right? And Barry Prima is that. And in the case of Indonesia, it's the Dutch government. The Dutch, you know, came in, you know, during the time period where the Dutch had probably the biggest, one of the most advanced and best navies at the time, and so they populated and colonized a lot of places, including Indonesia. So yeah, you picture them treated. They've essentially the Dutch government is, you think of them as the, you know, it's like the English and dealing with the native Indians in North America, if that helps to give you a picture of the thing. You know, like they consider themselves civilized, and they have rules and regulations which aren't the same as the native population in the area, and therefore, you know, there's conflict there, and in order to maintain this civilized society, they decide that, you know what, anybody who's not, you know, doing what we say, we're just going to kill them, and whatever, we are the Dutch, we're more powerful, so, you know, enter the warrior to set things straight. And I guess, you know, like, yeah, it's just this, I get, you want to call it the good versus evil, you know, if you were an Indonesian, you might think that way, getting against the oppressors and such. So it has that very heavy, you know, we're the people of the land, we are good, we aren't doing anything wrong, and you are the evil oppressors, and everything you do is bad, you're torturing, you're you know, there's, well, I mean, you like I said, think of the Indians or Native Americans, Canadians, and the way the, you know, English, French, or even the Spanish in the area treated the natives here in North America, and it gives you a real idea of how the Indonesian, you know, native Indonesian population was probably treated. So yeah, it's nuts. It's absolutely nuts, and I can't really give you know, like a proper description of this film to indicate how nuts and batty it is. Honestly, it starts off really well, and then it gets a little slow in the middle, and then it picks up near the end. But if you stick with it, you know, watch it all the way through, you can see why it is such a really bonkers action film. And there's a scene where Sembung fights Ki-10, who is the evil wizard, and Ki-10 essentially defeats him, and Sembung gets imprisoned, and he turns into a pig to escape. I don't know if that helps, maybe? No? I don't know. You know what, maybe I'm gonna throw on a couple of clips. Here's one. And yeah, see, that's nuts. And here, let's try this one. And that's what the film is like. That is, you know, that gives you an idea of what it's like. Yeah, The Warrior. I highly, if you're into so big films, I highly suggest checking out The Warrior. And honestly, I suggest looking into other countries, especially the Orient and such like that. Indonesia. Heck, you can even get in. Well, African films are a little weird. But yeah, there is a lot of stuff. I mean, Indonesia has a very, very, very large film industry, considering. And they create, sometimes, you know, a lot of the stuff you're not going to like. But in the case of something like The Warrior, yeah, I mean, how could you not like it? Right? Like, I'm trying to think. Mondo Macabro also put out The Devil's Sword. And I don't know if they still have it available, but if they do, you know, track it down. Barry Prima again is in that one. And again, it's you know, it's a mystical martial arts movie. and yeah, they're a lot of fun. They're a lot of fun. They are one of those things where, you know what, thank you Mondo Macabro for, you know, releasing these films and letting us in North America actually experience them, if we didn't somehow get to experience them, you know, in the whatever, the Grindhouse you know, theaters way back when, in the 80s, who knows. But yeah, you know, here's an unpaid for plug for Mondo Macabro. Check them out, mondomacabrodvd.com, or look them up on Facebook. And there's also, they have the Mondo Macabro Big Cartel store. But yeah, check them out. Mondo Macabro, definitely worth taking a look at, and checking out what other great films that they've released. And trust me, they have released a lot of fun. So yeah, there's still more scavenger hunt videos to come, so stay tuned, and until then, take care, have a good one.